Hey folks, welcome back to Hills and Hollers Homesteading and Prepping. This is Mike, and it's been a long day. I didn't get home till 2 o'clock this morning, and I wanted to make today's video. I'm in the basement, by the way. It's an unfinished basement. Got the wood stove rocking. It's nice and cozy. Got the whole house warm. I'm probably gonna fall asleep sitting here doing the videos. If I start drooling on myself and snoring, I apologize. So 2 o'clock's like, I haven't stayed up that late since our 7-year-old was a non-sleeping baby. So, anyways, long story short, healthcare, our healthcare industry right now is in shambles. I had to take a family member to the hospital yesterday, and we spent 7 hours in the waiting room of the ER. And I got upset. I know the situation. I know how it goes. Having a background in the emergency department and everything like that, working triage, working charge nurse, and knowing how everything goes. But when it's your family member and they're suffering, it's something that it does irritate you. So it's understandable people get frustrated. But anyways, long story short, I seen what we're hearing on the news, minus the twists of whatever agenda they want to push. Our healthcare staff is wiped out. They are absolutely past the breaking point. They are wiped out, and the blower's probably going to kick on that thing here in just a minute. So it might get, and there it comes. I could tell because you could smell that steel when it gets hot enough for the blower to automatically kick on. But I seen the nurses and the doctors and stuff last night. And I'm a nurse. I work in healthcare, but my job, my time in ER and ICU, critical care, and all that, it's done and over with. I've made it my job where it is now. It's virtual, work remote. Everything I do is via laptop and cell phone and video. But I seen it last night. I seen it firsthand, and I seen the desperation, the sheer exhaustion, and just the overwhelming. There's no words to describe it. I could not have asked for better care for my family member last night from these folks. So, first and foremost, however frustrated, irritated, and mad you may get while you're waiting, these people have hearts of gold, and they were absolutely fantastic with my family member last night, and I couldn't tell you how much I appreciated that. Even after that long frustrating wait of 7 hours in the waiting room, yeah, the care was top notch. So, in the event that something would happen in the midst of all that we have going on right now with whatever surge that they're seeing, and I know the numbers are kind of difficult to understand or believe because you hear so many different changes to everything frequently. There's always a change to this, a change to that, a change to this, a change to that, over and over and over. And the numbers seem to be inflated and everything like that. But I'm going to tell you, last night, I seen a lot of sick folks. And I was counting my blessings and very thankful that I no longer work in that kind of environment. But, it made me pause. It made me pause and say, you know what? I know the virus is real. I've said in previous videos, I had it last year. It just about killed me. But, I seen people my age and younger last night in bad shape in there. And I seen the effects firsthand. And when you get an emergency department that the entire emergency department, however many beds it is, I can't remember, it's a very large emergency department, and they were packed. They were holding patients down in the emergency department, needed to be admitted because there wasn't beds upstairs, there wasn't open beds, or there wasn't enough staff to cover all those beds. And that is another issue with healthcare, is not only because of the sheer numbers of patient volume that they're seeing with the pandemic, but the staff shortage that they're experiencing that has been exacerbated by the pandemic. So a lot of concerns that they've lowered the isolation and quarantine period for active COVID cases for even healthcare workers. I guess 5 days, you're back. And So that's raising some concerns and everything too. But you know, it was again, it was an eye-opening experience last night. So yes, our healthcare system is in shambles. They are beyond broken. They are desperate. Our our healthcare workers are beyond overwhelmed, and it's something we need to take into consideration and be prepared for an SHTF situation, a bad event to happen that can affect, not just like one little town, but a region, a tri-state, or even more area, or even like just the East Coast type of thing, or Northeast, or Southeast, or whatever you want to refer to it as. Um, just something that would affect those areas, like a big weather event or something like that, or something that would cause an increase of need for health services. That the system's already beyond its capacity. So we need to be more vigilant with ourselves. At some point, you're going to have to you're going to have to make a decision if you have chronic health issues, or if you're overweight and just in poor health in general, or not in the best of health, or you could do better, but piss on it. I'm going to enjoy my life and eat what I want, and you know what I mean. At some point, you're going to have to make a decision, because in the midst of a crisis, it's too late. Um, there was a guy in Virginia that was stuck in the snow, or I think it was Virginia, Maryland, somewhere over there, where he was. It was during the whole debacle with I-95, where the people were stuck in the snow. I guess he ended up going in a ditch, and he was like 6 miles from home. He was a young guy. He was like 32, 34, 36 years old. And he got stuck in a ditch, and he just figured, well, I'm only 6 miles from home. I'll walk home. He never made it home. He got lost in the snow in the woods and died. And, that makes you think. I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, shit, I could, if I broke down 10 miles from my house or something like that, I could make it home. And I mean, it's not hard to find where I live. I mean, I'm familiar pretty much with everywhere I usually travel back home. And, I wouldn't see myself getting lost, but it could happen. And your travel is going to be impeded by the weather and stuff like that, if it was something like that. And of course, blinding snow or heavy snow and stuff like that can change the landscape a little bit. But, you know, I would like to think that if in my normal travels, if I had to walk home, I could get home fairly easy. And even if I didn't follow the roads, I could get home fairly easy. And of course, it's going to be a struggle with the terrain and everything. But I mean, direction-wise, in longitudinal, latitudinal, I know which way to go to get home. Basically, is what I'm saying. But this guy was only 6 miles from home, and if I pick a 6 mile radius from where I live, I know for a fact I could get home. At least I would hope. I know the way. But like I said, there's so much to take into consideration now. We hear so much, and the information's always changing. But I'm going to tell you, firsthand experience last night. Our health system, our healthcare system, they're desperate. They're beyond desperate. So let's take into consideration, if you have something that can be treated in a doctor's office or an urgent care center, I'm going to highly recommend you do that. If you can't treat it at home, you can't take care of it at home, opt for your doctor's office or an urgent care center first before you continue to overwhelm the ER staff with more and more visits for unnecessary things. Give those folks a break. Let them take care of the people who really need to be in the hospital, rather than, my sore throat, my earache, my this, my that can be treated in an urgent care center. So, and, if something bad should happen, that's not the time to consider getting taken care of in a hospital for chronic problems that you've let go for a long time. So, our health system is overwhelmed, and all it would take right now is for an event that would put more pressure on top of what's already going on, and our health system will collapse. And a lot of people will suffer and die as a result of that. And it's not going to be because of poor care or lack of care. It's going to be because of lack of resources and just overwhelming, the overwhelming effect of what's going on right now. So something else to plan for. Take your health into your hands. Make the decisions to change your health. Make the decisions to get yourself healthier and do better. I currently have. That's what I'm working on. Fixing my diet, getting myself healed. And, when the weather improves here, I'm not want to get on a treadmill. Treadmills just kill me. I'm, walking my ass off to get nowhere. That's how I look at it. But weather improves a little bit, and I can get out and start walking through the woods and walking the hills and stuff like that, like I need to do. It's more functional exercise for me, and I definitely won't get the family involved in it as well. But we do need to exercise. We need to move. We need to get up and get out and get off the TV, get off the phone, get off the computer and everything like that, and get off the gaming consoles. Take control of our health, make the decisions to get ourselves healthier, and that way, in the event of a crisis or an SHTF situation, we're not coming in overwhelming the system with something that we could have prevented beforehand. So that's going to be it for this evening, guys. I'm tired. I've been straight carnivore for the last, what's today, the 11th? So since the 2nd. So for the last 9 days, I've been straight carnivore. Water, meat, a little bit of cheese, eggs. That's it. I definitely do feel better, but like I said, 7 hours in a waiting room in an emergency department and then not getting home until after 2 o'clock this morning. Yep, I'm kind of tired today. So I did give in, and I've had a couple Diet Mountain Dews today and a couple Green Lipton Diet Teas. So that's the first time in 9 days. But I haven't done too bad so far. Anyways, give us a like. Leave us a thumbs up here on the channel. Give us a comment. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what you think. Subscribe to the channel if this is material that you're, like-minded with and interested in. And keep prepping. Take care, and God bless.